What's going on, everyone? We are live on this thing. Man, I am excited tonight. I'm excited. Grab my water real fast. Hope everyone out there is doing good. Yeah, I'm excited to spend some time with everyone tonight and to provide value. That is my number one commitment, is to contribute to the people in my community and abroad, like people that are going to be watching this maybe on a replay. My number one commitment is to provide as much value and information as possible to help you, if you're wanting to get into real estate, understand exactly what you're getting into so you can prosper, even in your first year, which is what this is all about. And if you're already in real estate, whether it's year 1, year 2, year 3, year 10, maybe you can take some of these principles I'm gonna share with you and you can apply them to help you grow your business. So I'm excited. That is my commitment to everyone tonight. And we're gonna hop into it here in a minute. Oh man, let me make sure I got everything set up on my end. Yeah, we are ready to rock. Okay. Let me know in the chat if you hear me loud and clear. Let me know before I get started. I wanna make sure the audio is good. You can put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat or the Q&A just to let me know all good. Perfect. Perfect. Thank you, Ken. All good. Perfect. All right, so we're gonna hop into it. Let me share my screen real fast. Oh, goodness gracious. And hold on real fast. Resume share. There we go. I think we're good to go. So let me know, can you guys see my slideshow? It says how to make 100K in your first year of real estate. Let me know if you can see that. Yes, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to first thank everyone for joining. Again, my commitment is to make sure that I'm providing information and content for you to learn, grow. Listen, real estate is a fantastic industry. It has done wonderful things for me and my family and the people that are close to me, whether it's my business partners or the families I've been able to help support in their home buying and home selling journey over the past 9, almost 10 years. And so it is an incredible industry, in my opinion, the best industry in the world. So if you're considering getting into real estate, great choice. If you're currently in real estate, kudos to you. What I want to do before we get rolling, I'm going to ask you guys, what is your outcome? What specific questions do you have that I can make sure I touch on throughout our time together tonight? Put it in the chat if there's any specific questions or anything that you want me to touch on, and I'll make sure I touch on it during this next hour, because I want to be respectful of your time. We're going to keep this at an hour or shorter, okay? So give me something if you have any questions, or what is your outcome that you want from our time together tonight? Because I'm going to give you the down and dirty. One thing about me is I am going to be 100% transparent, honest. I'll even be vulnerable to let you know what the pros and cons, everything, what it takes to really making this type of money in your first year of real estate, what it's gonna take. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. So if you have any questions, I want you to definitely put them in the chat so then I can make sure I answer them. All right. A little bit about me. So Antoine Thomas, I am I'm here locally in Lafayette, Indiana, real estate agent for 9-ish years, helped hundreds and hundreds of families. I was, in my first year, able to earn, I was blessed to earn $100,000 in my first year of real estate. Thankful enough to be able to serve that many families, and that many families took a chance on me, this young pup getting into the business. And I currently am the team leader of a real estate team called the Silverline Real Estate Group here in Lafayette, Indiana, where we help, again, hundreds of families per year. Our commitment this year is to help 250 families. So it has been, again, a blessing to be a part of this industry, and I want to give back to it. So that is who I am, and let's get this rolling. All right, so I'm gonna keep it very simple with you guys. I'm gonna share with you guys 7 principles I would highly recommend you take notes. 7 principles of earning $100,000 in your first year, okay? And here's why I believe in this idea or this approach of keeping things simple and narrowing it down to 7 principles is because, write this down, the simple solves the complex. The simple solves the complex, okay? And one thing I know for sure, in real estate, and I can say this because, again, I'm an agent, so I know how we think. In real estate, we are so easily distracted. Let me know if you've ever been distracted before when you're focused on a goal. And this could be day by day, right? Whether it could be Facebook, whether it could be this new shiny object. Listen, as a real estate agent, we live that every single day, right? And I want to keep things simple as I'm breaking it down for you, because I see a lot of agents not really achieving their income goal because they find themselves distracted every single day, right? And here's the reality. A lot of us say, well, man, I got to be better managing my time. Like, man, if I could just manage my time better, I could get so much more accomplished. And I hear that and I'm like, listen, I 100% understand where you're coming from. Here's what I've noticed. We don't have a time management problem. We don't have a time management problem, everyone. We do not have a time management problem. However, I've noticed, and I'm speaking from my experience, we have a focus problem. We have a choice problem. We need to do a better job managing our focus and managing our choices, right? Because if you're saying yes to browsing on Facebook, you're saying no to focusing on something that's going to help you earn that $100,000, right? So it's not a time management issue. It's a focus and choice issue, right? So keep it simple. And that's my commitment to you, is to keep it simple. So with that being said, what is the first principle in earning $100,000 in your first year? Principle number 1, you have to live by faith, not by fear. You have to live by faith, not by fear. And let me break that down for you. Okay. Who do we have to be and what do we have to do? Well, number 1, we have to be authentic and we have to have versatility in our business. And we have to stop telling ourselves that successful people are only successful because they're different. Or successful people are only successful because they're lucky, right? Because when you do that, you think from a victim mentality versus a victor mentality. And tying this back into living by faith, not fear, you may be unaware of what is coming when you're stepping into real estate and you're wanting to, in your first year, make 100 grand. However, you got to have faith that you are 100% capable of achieving that goal, because it's been done before. And we're in the information age, meaning you can, there's too much information available to us, right? You gotta live by faith. You gotta understand that, I don't wanna do that, hold on. There we go. I'm getting ahead of myself. You gotta live by faith, not fear. You have to understand that you have everything available at your fingertips to help the amount of families that you need to help to earn the amount of money that you need to earn, that you want to earn. There is no luck involved. There is no special sauce or secret, right? You have to believe and embrace the fact that, yes, everyone is different, but here's the reality. If I live by faith, I understand I just have to make a decision to partake in the activities that a top producer or someone who's earning $100,000 a year or in their first year does, and consistently do it, right? When you live by faith, you open up your mind to more possibilities. If you live by fear, you limit what's possible. And it's not saying that you're not capable of doing more, but you're literally, from your fear, you're allowing your fear to cap your growth, okay? So live by faith, not fear. I think I beat that down enough, so we're gonna move on, okay? Live by faith, not fear. Principle number 2, you gotta decide what you want. You got to decide what you want. Get clear on what it is you want. Now, here's the issue, okay? Because just a couple months ago, my team and I, we sat down and we got very clear on what it is we want to achieve in 2023 as an individual and collectively as a team, okay? And I challenged the team to go 3 deep, all right? 3 deep. Decide what it is you want. But not just say, I want to earn $100,000, but why is that important to you? The reality is the $100,000 is just numbers. What's important to you is what you will do with that money and how that will impact you and the people that you care about around you, right? For example, maybe you want to earn $100,000 in your first year because you want to pay off debt. But why is that important? Well, I want to pay off debt because I've been swimming in debt for the past 5 years. And if I could pay off my debt, now I can afford to pay for my children's school, or I can finally purchase the car that I want, or I can finally take my family on that vacation, or whatever it may be. So many of us, when we talk about what do we want to achieve, we stop at, oh, I want to achieve X, but we don't talk about why is that important? And why is that important? And why is that important? And peeling back the layers, right? And the reason why that is important is because you got to connect emotionally to your goal. You got to connect emotionally to your goal. So important. And the reason why that is important is because if you could connect emotionally to your goal on the days where you really need the discipline, right? Because anybody can work hard on the days when you feel like it, but what about the days when you don't feel like it? And from last time I remember, most of the days I don't feel like doing nothing, right? But what helps me get out of bed is what I'm emotionally connected to. And I'm not just talking about, hey, well, what is your why? No, I'm not talking about what is your why, because that's so cliche. Well, what's your big why? What's your big why? No, what has to happen that would make your heart sing as a result of the real estate business, as a result of you earning $100,000? And then you review that every single day. You continue to emotionally connect to it, right? Because that's going to get you through the tough days, which is majority of the time, okay? By the way, when you are in real estate, you are what we call a 1099 independent contractor, right? So you are taxed by the IRS as a business owner. And the reason why I say that is because you need to treat the business like a business. And in order for you to consistently show up to work hard on what it is you want, you got to make sure you're emotionally connected to it. What has to happen that would make your heart sing as a result of the real estate business? Extremely important. The reason why I put principle number 1 being live by faith, not fear, and then principle 2, decide what you want, is because I know that's not tactical, but I'm telling you right now, if you don't get this part down, it's going to be very difficult for you to implement or take action every single day. All right. Write this down real quick. 80% of your success in business is going to come from the mental side. 20% is going to come from the actual strategy that you deploy. Business is 80% mental. Okay, remember what I said before? You are now you're a business owner, okay? You have to approach every single day as if you're a business owner. You have to adopt that mindset. If you're not showing up one day as a business owner, that's just like you putting a closed sign on the front door of your brick and mortar bakery shop or whatever it may be, right? It's very similar to that. So you got to make sure you're showing up and you're emotionally connected to what you want and treat it like a business. Get clear on what it is you want, and remember, it is a mental game first before the tactical stuff. All right, moving on. Principle 3, make a plan. Very simple. You got to formulate a plan. You have to formulate a plan. Then you got to stick to it. Now, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever made a business plan before. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever formulated a business plan before. Okay, Emily has. Ken? Thank you. Now, you want to know what's crazy? See, when we talk about business plans, and I am extremely guilty of this, it's funny. When I was taught to formulate a business plan, I had 30 pages of what I'm gonna do and blah, 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 right? Remember what I said earlier before we got started? The simple solves the complex, right? The business plan that we create today on our team is 1 page. It doesn't have to be 30 pages. Keep it simple, keep it concise. Make the plan based on what it is you want, okay? And there are strategies to make sure you formulate the right plan, and you can base it off data, all that stuff. We're gonna talk about data here in a minute. But once you have all the information, you can formulate the plan, keep it simple. All you need is 1 page. All you need is 1 page, okay? All right, we're gonna move on. Principle 4, take massive, inspired action. And I know you're probably thinking so far, man, this is so simple. Like, man, I thought this was gonna be like some mind-blowing, listen. The real estate game to earn $100,000, not only in year 1, but continuously throughout your career, it's simple. It's hard to do because it requires a lot of discipline, a lot of support, some accountability, right? But it's simple. Take massive, inspired action. We got to be productive. We got to be productive. What is the definition of productive? Because people like to confuse busy with being productive. Like if somebody is out there and they're working their butt off, right, as an agent, and they're striving for that $100,000 in their first year, it's very easy to mistake being busy with actually being productive. The definition of being productive is achieving or producing a significant amount or result, okay? Most agents, and this is again, I'm speaking from my experience. Listen, in my career, I've learned so many things to like the right thing to do, and I've learned a lot of the things not to do, okay? One of the things that I did myself, which was the wrong thing to do, was make themselves feel busy to creatively avoid being productive. How many of us has done that before, right? In our office, we call it creative avoidance. How many of you guys have done that before? Like we could get extremely creative when we're trying to avoid something. Like it's incredible how creative we can get. That is the life of a real estate agent, okay? Listen, We have to be productive, meaning if you want to earn $100,000 in your first year, and listen, I got so much to share with you guys. I'm so excited. I'm going to share with you what the average agent earns, okay? Earning $100,000 in your first year, it's extremely possible, but it's not common, okay? And it's not common because to be productive, that means to partake in money-making activities. So you're probably wondering, like, what the heck are money-making activities? It's kind of vague, Antoine. Well, money-making activities are activities that drive a high return on your investment. What is your investment? Your energy and your time. Your energy and your time. Are we getting a return on our time and our energy? Listen, the quickest way to sabotage any type of momentum or growth that you have in your business is to keep busy and avoid being productive, okay? Money-making activities, write this down. Here are the money-making activities. Plan, P-L-A-N, they're acronyms. P, prospecting. You have to prospect. Now, a lot of people don't like that word. They're like, man, prospecting. Listen, I hope I didn't lose anybody on the webinar. You guys all still here? Because a lot of times when I say that word, people are like, yeah, it's the wrong webinar for me. Let me go ahead and go. No, everybody's still, okay, cool. All right. So you're not afraid of the word prospecting. P is for prospecting. You have to connect with new people. You have to connect with new people. You have to go find new people to help, to serve, right? To contribute to. You cannot get into real estate and expect to make that amount of money and just sit back and wait for your phone to ring. That is just not reality, okay? I've had conversations with people before and they'd watch HGTV or these movies or TV shows. That is not reality. You have to take a proactive approach and communicate with people, meet people, okay? Prospecting. L is going to be lead follow-up. Lead follow-up. What is a lead? A lead is just a human being that showed interest in buying or selling real estate. You have to follow up with the people, okay? You prospect to find new opportunities, new people to serve. But once you have that initial conversation, then what do? Well, most people never talk to that person again. And I could break down why that happens, but that's a whole nother webinar. But L is lead follow up. You got to nurture that relationship. You got to stay in touch with people, okay? You got to build rapport with people. A stands for appointments. And what is an appointment? Appointment could be a showing, or it could be an actual like sitting down with somebody for like a consultation, whether it's a seller or a buyer consultation. But you got to get in front of people and you have to articulate your value so they look at you as the agent for them and they hire you to serve them, okay? So A is an appointment. And the N is negotiations. You got to negotiate, whether it's contracts, inspection, and whatever it may be, you got to negotiate. These are things that are in the PLAN, the money-making activities, okay? So I broke that down for you. If you have any questions about that, put it in the chat and I can elaborate further, or we're gonna keep moving on. I'm gonna share a stat with you. In 2022, okay? In 2022, there were over 600,000 agents that did not sell a single home. I'm gonna say that one more time. There were 600,000 agents that did not sell a single home, okay? Agents are selling 5 to 6 homes per year on average, and that number could actually drop this year. Now, I share that again to bring perspective, not to scare you, not to because you're probably like, for the people who's not in real estate, listen, that doesn't have to be you. For my people who are in real estate, again, it does, if that is you currently, it doesn't have to be, all right? If you just make some small adjustments from this webinar. But that is the cold reality. And I told you I was going to keep it real with you, all right? That's very little productivity per agent. And it really just comes down to the drive and the willingness to partake or put the work in the money-making activities. So the net of this portion, principle 4, is to become aware of our self-deprecating actions and habits, and we need to pivot. We need to pivot our actions. If you are wanting to make 100K in your first year, you have to be aware of this. You can literally prevent a lot of roller coaster of a business, right? Okay, moving on. Principle 5, track your numbers. And this is something that I keep close to my heart, because before I got into real estate, I wasn't really like a numbers guy. I really wasn't. At least I didn't. I mean, I adopted the mindset or the whole mantra that I'm not a numbers guy. I don't like numbers, blah, blah, blah. Man, when I got into real estate and I learned the importance of tracking your numbers, I am now a straight up nerd when it comes to numbers. Like, I'm the guy now, I'm in the spreadsheet. I'm looking, I'm seeing, okay, what's the ratio here? What's our set to met ratio? What's our gross margin? Like, all the numbers, man. I live and breathe that stuff now, okay? Again, on the flip side, conversely, most agents don't track their numbers. Now, why is tracking your numbers important? When you track your numbers, that's your scoreboard. How do you know whether you're winning or losing? A lot of people determine whether they're winning or losing by their bank account, and that's the wrong approach, okay? That's the wrong approach. Now, is that a variation of a scoreboard? Sure, yeah. I mean, if you got a lot of money stacking up in your bank account, fantastic. That can help determine whether you're doing well or not. But you got to remember, there is a such thing as a leading measure and a lagging measure, okay? And write this down. What you measure improves. What you can measure improves. So if you are only paying attention to your bank account because you're not tracking your numbers, the only number that you track is whether your account balance is going up or down, how are you able to make any adjustments, especially if your account balance is going down? Are you able to make any adjustments to help increase, or maybe make some adjustments to help that bank account go up? Because when you get paid, if you're unaware in real estate, I can meet with a client today. That doesn't mean I get paid today. I don't necessarily get paid until I help that client either sell or buy their house. And at the closing, which is typically, it could be 3 to 6 months later, is when I finally get paid, okay? So we're talking about a few months of a gap between I meet with the client to the time I close and get paid, right? If I'm only paying attention to the end result, how am I able to make any adjustments in the beginning to help improve? You can't, right? So you got to track more than just your bank account. I talked about leading measures versus lagging measures. Your bank account is your lagging measure. What is a leading measure? A leading measure is tracking how many people you're talking to per day, right? And then how many people you're talking to are you able to convert into a set consultation? Meaning, I spoke with someone and they have agreed to meet with me so I can educate them on the process of selling or buying their home. And then you need to track how many of those people that you set a consultation with, what is the ratio between the set consultation to you actually getting in front of them, okay? Then once you get in front of them, are we tracking how many of those people are actually hiring you? Are we tracking that? We do. That's another leading measure. And out of the people that we sit down with and they hire us, how many of those people are we actually getting under contract? If they're a buyer, how many of those buyers are we helping secure a home and get a home under contract? If we're working with a seller, how many of those sellers are we helping get a buyer under contract on the home they're selling? These are your leading measures, okay? These are your leading measures. Let me tell you a story real quick. And again, I want this to be interactive. So if you have any questions or any comments or feedback or anything at all, please put it in the chat as we go. I want this to be interactive. But let me tell you a story real quick about a current like tracking number scenario that we're going through right now on our team. We have learned as of recent, and this is the importance of tracking numbers. Check this out. Last year, we were blessed to help almost 130 families, okay? We were expecting to help more. We didn't, but we were still extremely blessed to help 130. Thankful. We were like, man, okay, well, we worked hard last year. We worked hard. And going through our yearly numbers, our 2022 numbers, I noticed that, this ratio between the buyers that we're actually sitting down with and they're hiring us, that ratio from that to how many people are we getting under contract? So that buyer, like that hired to under contract ratio, that ratio, right? That ratio was extremely low, okay? Extremely low. Now, because we tracked that number, I noticed that that number was low and we can improve in that area. As a matter of fact, if we can boost up that ratio by, let's say, 10 to 15%, we would have added 40 to 60 more families served in 2022. What if we bump that up to another, let's say, 40, 50%? So then we would have been, a lot higher. That would have equated to us helping over 300 families in 2022. And the total income in the company would have been an extra $1.8 million. And each agent would have earned personally, meaning money hitting their bank account, an additional $76,000 each. Put a one in the chat if you would take $76,000 if I gave it to you right now. Yes. I hope you understand how important tracking your numbers is now. Because now, with that information, by tracking our numbers for a full year, we can make adjustments, which is principle number 6. We can make adjustments to increase that ratio to where we can serve more families and our agents can earn an additional almost $80,000 in 2023. Boom. I don't know how to better paint a picture of how important it is to track your numbers than what I just gave you. And this is a real life example. Literally, we had a 4-hour-long conversation about how we're going to do this together as a team, okay? And the whole team got buy-in on it because we're all committed to growth, okay? So principle 6, make adjustments based on the numbers. Make adjustments based on the numbers. Now, to break that down even further, making adjustments, the subtleties and the nuances are so important when you're building a sustainable, duplicatable, profitable business. And as an agent who's trying to earn 6 figures in their first year, you got to understand how important it is to understand this. Just because you're not making a big adjustment to something doesn't mean it doesn't make a big difference in your business. Let me say that one more time. Just because you're not doing like a complete 180 and adjusting something doesn't mean it can't have a 200% increase in your overall production in your business. Okay? Write this down. Small hinges swing big doors. Small hinges swing big doors. It's the small changes or pivots that can make such a huge difference in your business. If you're an agent in your first year and you're noticing that you're not getting the results that you need, it's important for you then to sit back and review your numbers and say, hey, maybe I got to improve on my conversations. Maybe I got to improve on my skill set. Maybe I gotta educate more, educate my clients more, because here's the reality. Once you get into real estate, it's your job to educate. Oh, I just rhymed there. Once you get into real estate, it's your job to educate, because your clients are hearing the news, right? The doom and gloom of the market. I guarantee you, everyone who has been considering buying or selling this year or over the past several months, all they have heard is that interest rates have went up. But I bet there hasn't been anything on the news today about rates making over a 1.5% drop in the past 45 days. But whose job is that? That's our job, to educate, right? And if you're not getting the result that you want from talking to your clients, maybe you're tracking your conversations and you're noticing that, man, I'm not really getting any traction with my clients. You can make the adjustment to educate them more, right? You can make those simple adjustments that go such a long way, okay? Another thing too, how often, if you're an agent, how often are you taking action on everything that you're learning, all the content that you're consuming? Like this, you're on this webinar, and I want to applaud all of you guys being on this webinar. It shows to me that you're a winner, that you are a winner. You are committed to growth. You are committed to winning because you showed up. You could have been anywhere else in the world. You could have been watching the new Black Panther movie. You could have been watching You on Netflix. You could have been watching whatever, but you're here because you're committed to growth and you want to win. So I want to applaud you guys for that, for showing up. Now, this content and this information that you're gathering from me today, that I'm so blessed to give to you guys, it doesn't mean much. And the reason why is this. You have to take action on the information that you're learning, okay? You have to take the action, because the training doesn't build you to be more skilled. It's you learning, listening, consuming the content, taking action, and then reviewing the game film. And what do I mean by that? When you review game film, you take the action, maybe it doesn't work out the way you want, you don't get the result that you want, and then you review what happened. And then you can make the adjustments, right? And then you take action again. And then you get a win. Did you just build a skill? Yes, you did. Yes. The life or death of your business, the life or death of you earning 100K, or, this could be the difference between you earning 100,000 your first year or earning 10,000 your first year. It's going to be based on the decisions that you're making to take consistent action on what you've learned, tracking the results, having humility. You got to have humility. Do not allow ego. There's a positive and a negative side of ego. Do not allow the negative side of your ego to take you out. You got to be open-minded. You got to have humility. You got to allow feedback to help you grow. Now, I don't know where that feedback is coming from. I'd recommend you having a coach or a mentor or being a part of a team who's operating at a high level, because then you have a whole team of mentors and coaches. But that will determine a lot whether you make 10 grand or 100K, all right? Okay, got to make adjustments. We got to move on, okay? Because time is flying. All right, cool. Okay, principle 7. Don't be attached to the outcome. And this is so important, okay? The reason why this is important is because I know a lot of us are afraid of rejection. A lot of us, we're afraid of people telling us no, or, oh, you're bothering me, or maybe we're even afraid of success, right? Which is that's a weird one to me, right? But listen, if you're one of those people, I love you. It's okay. I love you. I do think that, and I've had conversations with people who are afraid of success. And I love having conversations with people because I love to understand how others think, right? And, after these conversations, I noticed that if they have a great year, let's say in real estate, you make that 100 grand, okay? And then January 1 hits, and now you got to do it all over again. A lot of us who are afraid of success are like, man, how can I do this again? Oh my, I just now done something that's uncommon, and people are looking at me like, well, are you going to do more? Are you going to be able to do it again? And that's a lot of pressure on us, right? And I can understand that. Don't be attached to the outcome. Be attached to the process, okay? Some of us are afraid, like I mentioned before, rejection. I don't want to prospect, Antoine. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be bothering people. I don't want to be calling people, like, man, if they need something, they'll call me, right? But if you remember what I said earlier, you cannot sit back, tell me or tell yourself or tell people around you, hey, I'm going to earn 100K my first year in real estate. I'm going to make it. And then don't be proactive in your business. And not prospecting, not reaching out, not building up relationships, right? Just because you're afraid of rejection. That's you being attached to the outcome. The outcome being, no, I'm not interested, hang up, or don't call me, lose my number, or maybe you getting cussed out, right? That's you being attached to the outcome. You need to be attached to the process. The process that I laid out for you today, the framework, the principles, you got to be attached to that. Do not allow other people to stop you from your dreams, period. Attached to the process. Another thing too, here, maybe if you are someone who's in real estate right now and you struggle with making the phone calls or reaching out to people or doing open houses, doing the things that are uncomfortable. I know a lot of people that don't even like getting on video, and that is okay. Listen, I know a lot of people that hated getting on video, but then now they love it, right? So it's possible that you can first hate something and then learn to love it, right? That is a real thing. But for my people who, they just don't want to do that, they're uncomfortable, they're not willing to take that step, especially when it comes to making the phone calls, prospecting. I'm a big advocate of prospecting, if you haven't noticed. I've built my business off of making the phone calls, getting down and dirty, pretty much putting on my hard hat and my work boots, and I'm dialing and smiling and dialing, and I'm building connections and relationships. Like, that's how I built what I have, right? For everyone who's struggling with that, I want you to think about it this way. Let's see if I can help you. You have to commit to doing the work. You have to commit to doing the work. And I'm not talking about making the phone calls being the work. How many hours are we working on ourselves? How many hours per day are we working on our mindset, right? How many hours are we working on our emotional or spiritual or physical, right? All those things, because write this down. The outer world, meaning your business, is a direct reflection of your inner world. If you're not confident in you as a human, if you don't have high integrity, high regard for you, your business is going to be a reflection of that. You have to stick to your daily commitments to build your integrity, to build your confidence, to have that confidence and that fire within you, to not allow anyone to step in your way from, or anyone to block you from your dreams. To give you the confidence and that fire and that inspiration and motivation, and understanding that it is your duty to serve your clients and your future clients. You are the best agent in this market. And if you are afraid to make the phone call to connect with that client or that future client that needs your service, that needs your help, you are doing that client a disservice. This is bigger than you. This is not about you being selfish right now. This is about you giving your gifts to other people. That's not being attached to the outcome. That's being attached to the process. Do the work. Do the work on you. Read books. Be in high-level environments. Be open and vulnerable. That allows you to have an open mind and to receive, right? Allow others to pour into you. You have to do that. You have to become, number one, you have to become before you can have. You have to become more. You have to grow into the individual who is capable of earning that amount of money. In any industry, if you earn $100,000 or more, you're in the top, what, 10, 15%? 10%, I think, of the population as far as earners, I believe. That number could have changed. Probably should have looked that up before I said that, but I believe it's like top 10% of earners in the United States, if you're making six figures. No normal Joe Schmo is making money like that. It's the people who have worked on themselves. Yeah, are there some a-holes out there that fell into some money, had a good year? Sure, right? But when it comes to being a business person in real estate, your inner world is your outer world is a direct reflection of your inner world. You got to grow. Become more so you can do more and then you can have more. All right. Cool, cool. All right. Approach real estate. I'm gonna summarize it with this. In order to earn six figures in real estate in year one, it's not about the money. It's about your commitment to contribute to other people's lives. You put the client before the profit. You give. You be attached to the process of giving to becoming more. And if you do that, I guarantee you, the money comes. The money comes. Because as you help that one client and you gave that client your all, that client over the lifetime of your relationship with that client, and if you plan on being in real estate for a long time, this could really go a long way in you being highly successful in your real estate career. That one client becomes, over the lifetime of your relationship with that person, 7 transactions. Okay. And what I mean by that, and again, I don't want to correlate a client to a transaction, but if we're talking about you serving a client and that client now going from a stranger to a client to an advocate, the advocate now is going to refer you business because you took care of them. They're going to trust you with their family, with their friends, with coworkers, and they may even do repeat business with you. You see how important it is to lead with contribution, to lead with giving, right? To become better at what you do, to grow as an individual so you can serve more people. That's the key right there. That's the key. All right. All right. We got 10 minutes left. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. And when you're going through this, because it's a journey, I want you to celebrate. All right. I know a lot of us, and I'm guilty of this. I'm so obsessed with being the best I can be in this, my time on this earth. I'm so blessed to have, and in this awesome career, and the privilege that I have to lead my wonderful team, right? there are times where it's dire. It's not fun, blah, 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 you know? Yeah, we all go through that. One thing that I highly recommend is as you're going through your journey, whether they're wins or losses, celebrate, okay? Celebrate. We are in such a unique opportunity. We're in the United States. We get to serve families. We get to provide for our family by helping others, right? Talk about true fulfillment in a career. Celebrate that every single day, right? Celebrate that. Show gratitude to your clients. Be thankful. Be thankful to your team. Be thankful to your brokerage, other agents, right? Your family, people that are trusting in you to do the right thing. Celebrate all of that, the wins and the losses, all of it together, because it's much easier. It's much easier. It's much easier. Okay. Celebrate the journey. All right. I want to let you guys know, because I wanted to break down as much as possible in the 1 hour that we had, because again, I want to be respectful of your time. If you maybe didn't get a question answered, maybe you have, or you want more information and I didn't cover it today, I have a QR code up here. Let's chat. We can set up a time to hop on a 15 to 30-minute call, and I'll be happy to provide more information, answer any questions for you, do what I can to support you and contribute more. Again, our commitment, not just my commitment, but the people that I'm involved with, High Value Agent, Silver Lining Real Estate Group, we're all committed to just helping, to just serving and contributing, okay? So let's chat. There's a QR code right here. And again, that'll be a 15 to 30-minute Zoom call, okay? Another thing too, join our Facebook community, High Value Agent. So this webinar, we post a lot of the upcoming webinars on this Facebook group. This is our community where, again, we're committed to just providing more information, more value to the people. As real estate has been such a great industry to be in, it's done so much for me and my family. So we're just giving back to the industry that has given so much to us. So again, join our community, QR code. We love to see you in there. And I'm constantly dropping videos that are educational. I will be doing follow-up, like real short 30-second clips that can give you more insight and more context as to how to earn $100,000 your first year. Okay, so again, that is our Facebook community. And then we have a special offer. So anybody who is interested in getting in real estate, maybe you're not in real estate already and you're really interested, maybe watching this webinar, it got you excited. You're like, okay, yeah, I believe I can do this, $100,000 on the way. And maybe your biggest struggle is getting into your the real estate course or the real estate school to get your license, because it's not cheap, right? It's not cheap to get in the school. If you need some support there, we have a scholarship opportunity. It's just an application that you got to do, and it's a 3-step application. Number one, add us on Facebook. You can friend me and follow Silver Lining Real Estate Group, okay? Send us an application video, and then you can wait for our response. We'll review the information, your application, watch the video, and then we can schedule a Zoom call to further discuss, okay? So if this is something that you're interested in, again, just follow these steps right here, and we'll be happy to see if it makes sense, if you qualify, and we can partner up together to do that, okay? And I'll just say we're 100% committed, again, to contribution to the real estate community and the awesome people who are wanting to get into this great industry and community. And I'm gonna end it with, yeah, thank you. There was a question that came in here real quick. I'm gonna answer that before we go. So how can I start building my name right now before I even start, so I can have some leads from the get-go? Yeah, great question. Okay, now, if I were starting completely over and I wanted to make sure by the time I was like day one starting in the business, I already had clients, the number one thing I would start doing is every single person that I know in my phone, every contact that I have in my phone, I would be letting them know today, even if I'm not even licensed yet, if I'm going to be getting licensed in the next 30 days, I'm letting everybody know that I am going to be in real estate by X date. Okay. And here's the thing. Provide more context as to why that will work. Number one, if you have the people that are in your phone, they most likely know you, you know them. I believe everyone would agree with me when I say they typically want what's best for you. Meaning, we as humans, we are designed to help others, okay? We are designed to contribute. And every time you help someone, there's like this feeling of feeling good, right? You reach out to people and say, hey, I'm starting a new career. I'm excited about it. I just want to let you know that I'm getting into real estate. I have a commitment to help X amount of families this year. It could be 15, 20, 10, it doesn't matter. And I just wanted to check with you and see, who do you know that is considering buying or selling real estate in 2023? That's a simple text script or a phone script that you can use to let everybody know you're getting a real estate. And the easiest conversation to have are the people you've already been talking with in your phone. Another thing I would do is I would just do a public announcement on Facebook and Instagram. I would say, hey, I'm in a process of getting my license. I'm extremely excited. I'm committed to this business. And I just wanted to let everybody know, if you want any additional information about blah, 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 please reach out. I mean, I would just start making it known, but the easiest way is to go through your phone and just reach out to people through there, because these are people you're probably texting with every day. I would definitely let my family know. And a lot of times your family could be huge advocates, right? So let your family know. If you are currently working at another job, probably want to be careful, because I do know some coworkers and bosses can kind of feel a little different, right? So be careful with that. But if your current job is okay with you, letting people know, hey, I'm getting in real estate, spread the news there. And pretty much at this point, it's all about word of mouth and just letting every people know. It's a big announcement that you can make, okay? Was that helpful? I hope it was. I'm sure it was. Again, keep it simple. It's all about just, and by the way, share your excitement. People genuinely want to see other people do well. I mean, there are some people out there, that can get jealous and stuff like that. But if you're sharing that you're so excited to embark on your new journey in real estate, there's gonna be a lot of people saying, congratulations, blah, 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 right? That's a great opportunity for you to, build that relationship. It's a great opportunity for you to also connect with people that maybe you haven't connected with for years. So take advantage of those opportunities. Another thing too that I would recommend as you're talking to people, you want to make sure you're gathering information, okay? You want to gather information. What I mean by that is, if you reach out to someone and you, hey, I'm getting into real estate, I'm so excited, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, congratulations. Yeah, yeah. If you don't have their email, gather their email. You obviously may have their phone number if you're texting them, but if you don't have their email, ask them for your email. And I would, if you got an iPhone, I would store their email in my iPhone. Okay, so now you got name, phone number, email. And I would just keep doing that. And if you do that over 30 days, by the time you're actually ready to start in real estate, you're going to have a pretty decent sized database of people that now you can email to, you can send important information to, and obviously you can call, right? You can store all that stuff in a separate database where you can really continue to nurture those relationships. So when you reach out to people, don't be afraid to ask for an email. You can let them know I'm not going to spam you, but I will be happy to share with you information as I embark on my new career. Okay, cool. All right, everyone. Well, that is it. Again, I know that was valuable, and stop saying I hope. I know it was valuable. Again, join our Facebook community, High Value Agent. Well, I want to see you guys in there where we post consistent content. If you're interested in that scholarship, just follow the application, and we're going to send out this recording to everyone, the replay. So if you had to hop off early or for whatever reason, you should have the replay within 24 to 48 hours. All right, you guys, stop this share real quick. All right, you guys, stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys on the next one.